The Japanese secret to building wealth. Mastering Kakeibo. The leaky bucket versus the iron cup. Imagine two men standing in a heavy rainstorm. The first man holds a massive bucket, but the bottom is riddled with holes. The rain pours in endlessly, yet it drains out just as fast. When the storm passes, his bucket is completely empty. He is exhausted, stressed, and broke. The second man holds a small cup. It's not large, but it is forged from solid steel. No leaks, no holes. The rain is merely a drizzle for him, yet he catches every single drop. Once his cup is full, he pours it into a barrel, and then another. When the storm ends, the man with the massive bucket is begging for water. The man with the small steel cup is wealthy. This is the financial reality of the modern world. We are dangerously obsessed with income. We believe the solution to all our problems is simply to make more money. But increasing your income while keeping bad financial habits is like pouring water into a leaking bucket. You don't get richer, you just speed up the flow of waste. To actually build wealth, you don't necessarily need a CEO's salary. You need a monk's discipline, the trap of invisible money. Why are we so bad with money? Because modern money has become invisible. You tap a card, you click buy now, you use your phone to pay, you never see the physical currency leave your hand, and because of that, you never feel the loss. This is called frictionless spending. Corporations have spent billions of dollars to remove the friction from buying. They want you to spend without thinking. Historically, when human beings paid with physical cash, the brain registered a psychological phenomenon known as the pain of paying. When you tap a card, that pain is numbed. You don't feel the sting until the end of the month when you see your credit card statement, but by then the damage is already done. The solution to this modern trap was invented over a century ago. In 1904, Japan's first female journalist, Hani Motoko, created a system called Kakeibo, pronounced Kakeibo, which translates to household financial ledger. It is not an app. It is not a complex spreadsheet. It is a physical notebook, a pen, and a mindful philosophy that forces you to stare your spending in the face. The 4 pillars of Kakeibo. Kakeibo's power lies in its simplicity. It relies on asking 4 fundamental questions at the beginning of every single month. 1. Income. How much money do I actually have available? 2. Goal. How much would I like to save? 3. Fixed expenses. How much must I spend to survive? 4. The promise. How can I improve my habits this month? Most people do this backward. They spend first and try to save whatever is left over, which is usually zero. Kakeibo flips the equation. You must pay yourself first. If you earn $3,000 and want to save $500, you remove that $500 immediately. You now have to survive on $2,500. This creates artificial scarcity. When you have less money available, you stop wasting. You become creative. You prioritize the must-haves over the nice-to-haves. The 4 buckets of spending. In Kakeibo, you categorize every single expense into one of 4 buckets. It is not about strict, suffocating budgets. It is about understanding the nature of where your life energy is going. 1. Survival needs. Rent, groceries, utilities, transport, medication. These are non-negotiable. You cannot cut them to zero, but you can optimize them. 2. Optional wants. Dining out, shopping, drinks, subscriptions. This is the leak in your bucket. This is where the battle for your wealth is won or lost. 3. Culture, mental enrichment. Books, museums, courses. Kakeibo encourages this. Spending money to grow your mind is an investment, but it must still be tracked. 4. Extra, unexpected. Car repairs, birthday gifts, medical emergencies, the things you couldn't plan for. Retraining your brain, the daily ritual. Every evening, you sit down for exactly 3 minutes. You take your receipts and physically write them into your 4 buckets. This daily ritual is the core of the system. It forces you to confront your choices while the memory is still fresh. If you spent $50 on drinks last night, writing it down the next morning makes you feel the sting. That sting is what prevents you from doing it again tonight. Looking at your finances at the end of the month is an autopsy. The patient is already dead. Kakeibo is a daily checkup that keeps the patient alive.